I want to show our friends here on this camera up close here. Let's come into the in close book, the in close camera here. This is one of my favorite books of all time, Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. I've interviewed Austin multiple times. He's got another book that's a follow-up to this called Show Your Work. And I was thinking about this today because there's so many of you who are in that season of life where you've got this side idea, or you've got this idea that's kind of been burning in you for a while, and it's intimidating because you don't have a lot of experience in it and you haven't done a whole lot of producing in that area, but it just keeps waking up in the middle of the night. And one of the things that holds so many people back from pursuing the dream is they don't know how to start. And this book, Steal Like an Artist, let me tell you what it's not. It's not about plagiarism. That's not what he's talking about. But he's talking about the people that inspire you, the content that inspires you, the businesses that inspire you, the products that inspire you, the services that inspire you. That's what you want to copy. And in copying and leaning into the things that move you, move your head, move your heart, you begin to develop your version, your voice. So just a little bit from this book on who to copy, how you begin to figure out what is this thing I want to do and why do I want to do it. Interesting from this book. Austin writes, we learn to write by copying the alphabet. We learn to play music by practicing scales. We learn to paint by reproducing masterpieces. So in other words, copy those people who inspire you. Songwriter Nick Lowe said, when you start out songwriting, you start out by rewriting your hero's catalog. It's the music that moves you. So you listen to those songs, you go, what would I do different? How would I rearrange it? American Idol is a wonderful example. My wife and kids, we love the show. And every season, multiple times, you'll see a young person that will do a cover of somebody else's song, but they'll totally rearrange it. And you'll see the judges say, you made that song your own. That's what we're talking about here. You didn't plagiarize it. You know, in that situation, that young artist was inspired by the song, loves the song, and they transformed it. They copied it to the point of, I'm going to do this, and how would I do it, and how could I change it? And they put their spin, their perspective on it. So that's how you copy. You digest the things that you love. And then you begin to put your perspective on it. Now, what to copy? Okay, we talked about how to copy, what to copy. Don't just copy the style or the look or the substance. Copy the thinking behind it. So if it's a product, a service, if it's art, if it's content, don't just copy the output, the style. Copy the thinking behind it, the motivation, the motive, the heart, the head behind it. Here's why. Because if you just mimic something on a surface level, there's not going to be your version, your original. Even though it's not original, people will say, oh, that's original. You'll be a knockoff. It's like buying a cheap knockoff purse or a cheap knockoff watch. Because all you did was mimic. You didn't get behind why it's created the way it's created. You didn't do a deep dive on how it's created. You just looked at, well, this is the end result, and I'm going to try to create that. Then you're a knockoff, and that's not what you were created to be. You're not created to be a knockoff. You're created to be your unique version of something else. Maybe the greatest band of all time is the greatest example of this, the Beatles. You youngsters probably don't realize that the Beatles started out as a cover band. And, you know, that's how they got gigs. They were playing other people's music. And they were playing music probably that they enjoyed. But then behind the scenes, they're diving in and they're writing their own music. And then they create this unbelievable sound that nobody had ever heard before. A cover band becomes maybe the greatest band of all time. It's really important stuff that you get this. Learn who to copy and how to copy. And by the way, buy the book, Steal Like an Artist. Look at it. It's going to take you, look at the sticker price on this is $12.95. I'm not selling it to you. I'm just telling you, you can read it in about 15 minutes. Unbelievable. And it'll really, really help those of you who have been listening to the program and you're going, Ken, I'm doing your clarifying questions. I know what I do best. I'm really trying to figure out what I love to do most, and I'm really trying to connect to the results that matter most. And that process, along with, okay, once I get the clarity on those 3 questions, now I can begin to figure out who I want to steal from. It's wonderful. Really, 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 really good stuff.